Welcome, everyone. We're diving into the world of cutting-edge AI today, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one.
This is some seriously fascinating stuff. We're talking about a company called DeepSeek. They're developing large language models, which are the brains behind things like ChatGPT, but with their own unique spin on it.
And what's really got our attention is that DeepSeek is a Chinese company that's making some serious waves. They're all about open source and building AI that's super efficient.
Yeah, it's kind of shaking things up in the tech world. They're taking on some of the biggest names out there, and they're not afraid to do things differently.
So buckle up, folks. We're going to break down exactly how DeepSeek is changing the AI game. Let's start with the basics. Who is DeepSeek, and what makes this so special?
Well, they're based in Hangzhou, Zhejiang, China, and they've really made a name for themselves by specializing in these open source large language models, or LLMs for short.
Okay, so open source, we hear that term a lot, but what does it actually mean in this context?
It means they're sharing their technology with the world. It's like giving away the secret recipe instead of keeping it locked up in a vault.
And why would they do that?
Yeah.
Most companies guard their tech pretty fiercely.
That's what's so interesting about DeepSeek. They believe that by making their AI open source, they can foster more innovation and collaboration within the AI community.
So it's like they're saying, hey, let's all work together to make AI better.
Exactly. And it's not just about open source. They're also known for building AI that's super efficient. They've managed to achieve some incredible performance while using significantly fewer resources than some of their competitors.
So less is more in this case.
You could say that they're proving that you don't need to throw billions of dollars at the problem to make groundbreaking advancements in AI.
All right, so we've got open source, we've got efficiency, but what about the actual breakthroughs? What have they accomplished that's got everyone so excited?
Oh man, where do we even begin? They've got a whole lineup of impressive AI models, but one that really stands out is DeepSeek V2.
Okay, DeepSeek V2. What's so special about this one?
Well, for starters, it's got a massive 236 billion parameters.
236 billion, that sounds like a lot.
It is. It's a huge AE amount of processing power. But what's even more impressive is that DeepSeek V2 can handle a context length of 128,000 tokens.
Okay, I'm going to need you to break that down for me. What does that mean in plain English?
Imagine having a conversation with someone who can remember every single detail you've ever told them. That's kind of what DeepSeek V2 can do. It can process and understand incredibly long chunks of information, making it much more adept at complex tasks.
So it's like having an AI with a superpowered memory.
Exactly. And they've achieved this through some really innovative architectural designs that prioritize efficiency.
So they're not just building big AI, they're building smart AI.
Precisely. And get this, they've managed to reduce training costs by 42.5% compared to their previous model.
Wow, that's a serious cost saving.
It is, and they've also made it significantly faster. So we're talking about AI that's not only more powerful and efficient, but also more affordable to develop.
This is starting to sound like a real game changer.
It is. And DeepSeek V2 is just the tip of the iceberg. They've got other impressive models too, like DeepSeek-Coder, which is specifically designed for coding.
Wait, AI that can write code?
Yep, you heard that right. They've trained these models on a massive data set of code, 2 trillion tokens to be precise. And the results are pretty amazing.
So how good is this AI coder, really?
It's outperforming other open source code models, and it's even giving some of those closed source ones a run for their money. You know, the ones from companies like, well, we probably shouldn't name names.
Right, I get it.
Yeah.
But the point is, this AI is legit.
Oh, it's definitely legit. And here's the kicker. They're releasing these models under a super permissive license.
Meaning?
Meaning anyone can use them, even for commercial purposes.
So they're not just building amazing AI, they're making it accessible to everyone. That's a pretty bold move.
It is. It's like they're betting on the power of collaboration and community-driven development.
I love that. But let's be real. It can't all be about open source and efficiency. They must have something else up their sleeve, right? Some secret weapon.
Well, they do have their latest model, DeepSeek V3. And let me tell you, this one is a real speed demon.
Oh, fast, huh?
Like you wouldn't believe. It's topping the leaderboards when it comes to inference speed among open source models.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't AI experts, what does inference speed actually mean?
It basically means how quickly the AI can process information and generate results. Think of it like this.
Right.
You ask the AI a question, and the inference speed determines how fast you get an answer.
Ah, okay. So the faster the better.
Exactly. And DeepSeek V3 is blazing fast. It's rivaling the performance of those top secret models from the big tech companies.
The ones that are locked away and cost a fortune to access?
Yep, those ones. DeepSeek V3 is proving that you don't need to sacrifice speed or performance to build AI that's open and accessible.
This is incredible. So how are they doing it? What's their secret sauce?
Well, a big part of it is their laser focus on building AI that's not only powerful but also incredibly efficient. We've already talked about how they've cut down training costs, but it goes beyond that. Their entire approach is built around maximizing efficiency at every stage of development.
So it's like they're proving that you don't need to throw billions of dollars at the problem to achieve groundbreaking results. That's got to be making some of those big tech companies nervous.
I'm sure it's raising some eyebrows.
Yeah.
And it has implications that go way beyond just cost savings. DeepSeek's success is sending ripples through the geopolitical landscape as well.
Ooh, now this is where things get really interesting. Tell me more.
Well, consider this. China has made it very clear that they want to be a global leader in AI. They're investing heavily in companies like DeepSeek and supporting their growth.
So DeepSeek's success isn't just about a company winning. It's about China's strategy to become self-reliant in AI.
Exactly. And that's making some other countries a little uneasy.
I can see why, like, a power shift is happening in the tech world.
It is, and it raises all sorts of questions about who will control the future of AI. Will it be a handful of powerful tech giants, or will it be a more open and collaborative landscape? DeepSeek's approach suggests that a different path is possible.
Okay, so we've got this super innovative company building incredibly powerful and efficient AI, making it open source and potentially shifting the balance of power in the tech world. But what about the real-world impact? How is all of this actually playing out?
Well, one of the best examples is DeepSeek's AI assistant. This app, powered by their cutting-edge DeepSeek V3 model, is designed to help users with all sorts of tasks. And get this, it's already surpassed ChatGPT to become the top-rated free app on Apple's App Store in the US.
Wait a minute. So a Chinese AI assistant built on this open source technology is now the most popular app in the US.
That's right. It's a huge win for DeepSeek, and it shows that they're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for the future of the AI industry?
Well, it raises some really important questions. Will we see a shift towards more open source solutions? Will cost effectiveness become a bigger driver of innovation? It's clear that DeepSeek is shaking things up and forcing everyone to rethink the way things are done.
This is way more fascinating than I initially thought. Before we move on, can we take a moment to just recap what we've uncovered so far?
Absolutely. We've established that DeepSeek is a Chinese AI company that's making waves with its focus on open source, cost-effective AI development. They've got groundbreaking models like DeepSeek V2 and DeepSeek-Coder, and their latest model, DeepSeek V3, is proving that they can compete with and even beat the biggest names in the AI game.
And they're doing all of this while potentially shifting the balance of power in the global AI landscape. This is a story we need to pay attention to, folks. Stay with us as we dive even deeper into the world of DeepSeek and explore what their rise could mean for the future of AI. We've laid out the facts about DeepSeek's tech and their incredible rise, but now it's time to kind of zoom out a bit.
Yeah, what does DeepSeek's success really mean for the wider AI world? What could the long-term ripple effects be? We're talking their open source approach, their cost-effective methods, their influence on the global AI stage. It's a lot to unpack.
Let's try to break it down piece by piece. Shall we start with how DeepSeek is kind of shaking things up in the AI industry itself?
Well, for the longest time, AI development has been this game dominated by these huge tech companies, right? They've got massive resources, tons of cash to throw around. They can pour billions of dollars into research and building the infrastructure needed for all of this.
Like an exclusive club with a super expensive membership fee.
Exactly. And DeepSeek's kind of like, hold on a minute. They're coming in and showing everyone, hey, cutting-edge performance doesn't have to cost a fortune. They're making those industry giants rethink their whole strategy,
I love that. It's like they're proving that there's another way to innovate in AI, a way that's more open and accessible to everyone.
And that could lead to a real shift in the industry, right? A movement towards more cost-effective methods for developing AI companies might start prioritizing efficiency and resourcefulness.
So instead of just throwing money at the problem, they might have to start being smarter about it.
Exactly. And think about the potential impact. This could have a democratizing effect, making powerful AI tools available to a much wider range of people, not just those with the deepest pockets.
That's huge. It could empower so much creativity and innovation beyond those big tech labs.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got cost effectiveness. But let's talk more about their dedication to open source. We touched on this before, but it's worth diving a little deeper. How is DeepSeek's open source approach really changing the game here?
Well, traditionally, AI development has been shrouded in secrecy, right? Companies have guarded their models and algorithms like they're state secrets.
It's like a top secret recipe they don't want anyone else to get their hands on.
Right. And DeepSeek's coming in and saying, hey, let's all share the recipe. By making their models open, they're fostering this spirit of collaboration and innovation within the whole AI community.
So instead of competing in these isolated silos, everyone can come together and build something amazing.
And that's powerful stuff. It empowers developers all over the world to contribute their ideas, refine the technology, and create new applications that we might not have even imagined before.
It's like crowdsourcing the future of AI.
Mm-mm.
But doesn't this open approach come with some risks? Like, what about control and responsibility? If everyone has access to these powerful tools, how do we make sure they're used ethically and responsibly?
That's the million-dollar question. It's a huge challenge. And it leads us into another important area where DeepSeek's rise is having an impact: global AI regulations.
Right, because this is all happening against a backdrop of some pretty serious geopolitical tensions, too.
Yeah.
Especially between the U.S. and China.
Exactly. We talked about that AI arms race earlier. It's a high-stakes competition, and the stakes are only getting higher.
Because AI isn't just about some abstract technological advancement. It has real-world implications for economic power, for military capabilities, even for national security.
Absolutely. So where does DeepSeek fit into all of this?
Well, their success is very much aligned with China's goals to become a world leader in AI. By supporting companies like DeepSeek China's, showing its commitment to developing its own AI talent and reducing its dependence on foreign technology.
It's like a declaration of independence in the AI world.
And the rest of the world is paying attention. DeepSeek's advancements are putting pressure on other countries, especially the U.S., to really step up their game.
So DeepSeek's success is fueling this global competition and potentially influencing policy decisions around the world.
Right. We could see increased scrutiny of AI investments, potential restrictions on technology transfer, a push for stricter regulations to govern the development and use of AI. It's a big deal.
And it sounds like a global chess game with AI as the most important piece on the board.
And DeepSeek is making some bold moves, forcing everyone to rethink their strategies. All right, so we've covered the industry disruption. We've talked about the open source revolution and the geopolitical implications. But what does all of this mean for DeepSeek's own future? What's next for this company?
Well, one thing's for sure, they're not slowing down. They've achieved remarkable success, but they're showing no signs of letting up.
They're like a rocket ship blasting off into the AI stratosphere.
I love that analogy. Yeah, their trajectory definitely suggests that they have even bigger goals on the horizon. We can expect to see them pushing the boundaries even further, exploring new frontiers, and continuing to challenge conventional thinking.
So what specific areas might they focus on? What's on their AI agenda?
One area that's ripe for exploration is multimodal AI. This involves developing models that can understand and generate not just text, but also images, videos, and other types of data.
So it's like taking AI to a whole new level, creating systems that can interact with the world in a much richer and more nuanced way.
Exactly. And that could have huge implications for all sorts of fields, from creative arts and entertainment to healthcare and scientific discovery. The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
Wow, so instead of just having an AI that can write you a poem, you could have an AI that composes a symphony or designs a life-saving drug.
Exactly. Another area where DeepSeek could make a big impact is global expansion. They've already got a foothold in the U.S. market with their AI assistant.
And their success on the App Store definitely shows that they have the potential to connect with a global audience.
Yeah, they could leverage that success to expand into other markets, bringing their open source AI solutions to businesses and developers all over the world.
So we could see DeepSeek becoming this global force in AI, shaping the industry and influencing technological development on a global scale.
It's definitely within the realm of possibility, but of course their journey won't be without challenges. The bigger they get, the more scrutiny they'll face from regulators both in China and internationally.
The spotlight gets brighter, the higher you climb.
That's the truth. And they'll need to navigate this complex regulatory landscape very carefully, making sure that their open source approach and their ambitious goals align with the evolving rules and the ethical considerations surrounding AI.
So DeepSeek's future is full of exciting possibilities, but also potential hurdles they'll have to overcome.
That's the nature of innovation, especially in a field as transformative as AI. And that makes their story all the more fascinating to follow.
We've covered a lot of ground today. Industry disruption, the open source movement, those geopolitical implications. It's a complex and evolving landscape. But I think the biggest question we're left with is this. What does DeepSeek's rise ultimately mean for the future of AI as a whole? What kind of world are they helping to create?
That's the question, isn't it? And it's one we'll explore in more depth in the final part of our deep dive. We'll delve into the potential long-term implications of DeepSeek's unique approach, their focus on accessibility, and their growing influence on the global stage.
Don't go anywhere, listeners. The future of AI is being written right now, and DeepSeek is one of the authors. We've got more to uncover. Welcome back, everyone. We're wrapping up our deep dive into DeepSeek, the Chinese AI company that's really making waves with their open source and cost-effective approach to building some pretty incredible AI.
We've talked about their technology, their impact on the industry, and even the geopolitical ripples they're causing. But now it's time to tackle the big question.
Yeah, the big one. What does DeepSeek's success tell us about the future of AI as a whole?
It's like trying to predict the future, right? But I think one of the most exciting possibilities is a future where AI is truly democratized. DeepSeek's commitment to open source could really pave the way for a world where these powerful AI tools aren't just in the hands of a select few.
So instead of AI being this exclusive club, it becomes more like a public park open for everyone to enjoy and explore.
Exactly. Imagine a world where small businesses, startups, individual developers, they all have access to the same cutting-edge AI that was once limited to only the biggest tech companies or governments.
That would be incredible. We could see a surge of innovation coming from all corners of the globe.
Right. People from all walks of life contributing their ideas and building new solutions to all sorts of problems.
It's like unlocking human potential on a massive scale.
And this democratization of AI could also help address some of the ethical concerns that people have about this technology.
That's interesting. How so?
Well, if AI development is more transparent, more open to public scrutiny, it's less likely to be dominated by a small group with their own agendas. A more diverse range of voices and perspectives can help shape the ethical guidelines and regulations that govern how AI is developed and used.
It's about ensuring that AI is developed responsibly and for the benefit of everyone, not just a select few.
That's the goal. But of course, with all this openness, there are potential downsides to consider as well. We have to be realistic about the challenges.
Right, because it's not all sunshine and roses.
Yeah.
What kind of risks are we talking about here?
Well, one concern is the potential for misuse. If these powerful AI tools are freely available, what's to stop them from falling into the wrong hands?
It's a valid concern. We've seen how technology, even with good intentions, can be exploited for harmful purposes.
Exactly. So as AI becomes more accessible, it's more important than ever to establish strong safeguards and ethical frameworks to minimize the risk of misuse.
So things like responsible AI development practices, international cooperation, and public education.
Oh.
All crucial to ensuring that AI is used for good.
Absolutely.
Right.
We need to be proactive about addressing these challenges. And another challenge to consider is the potential for an AI skills gap. If everyone has access to these powerful tools, but not everyone knows how to use them effectively, it could create a real divide.
It's like giving someone a Formula One race car, but they've never learned how to drive. Not a good situation.
Exactly. So a future where AI is truly democratized requires significant investments in education and training. We need to equip people with the skills and knowledge to understand, develop, and use AI in a way that's responsible and beneficial.
So it's not just about access, it's about empowering people to actually harness the power of AI for good.
Right. It's a multifaceted challenge. But I think DeepSeek's rise is forcing us to have these important conversations. It's pushing us to think about the impact of AI on society and how we can prepare for a future where it plays an even bigger role in our lives.
It's a lot to wrap our heads around, but it's also incredibly exciting.
It is. And it's important to remember that the future of AI isn't predetermined. It's something we're actively shaping through our choices and actions.
So it's not just about observing DeepSeek and their impact, it's about being part of the conversation, helping to steer the development of AI in a direction that benefits all of humanity.
I completely agree. And that's something everyone can contribute to, regardless of their technical background. We can all stay informed about AI developments, participate in discussions about the ethical implications, support initiatives that promote responsible AI development.
We all have a role to play in shaping this future.
Exactly. And as we wrap up this deep dive into DeepSeek, I think the biggest takeaway is this AI is a powerful force that's rapidly changing the world. And companies like DeepSeek are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. They're challenging the old ways of doing things and forcing us to rethink our assumptions about the future.
It's an incredible story, and it's only just beginning.
It's an exciting time to be alive, full of challenges and opportunities. The choices we make today will shape the AI-powered world of tomorrow. So let's make sure we're making informed and ethical choices that benefit everyone.
Well said. Thank you so much for taking us on this journey into the world of DeepSeek. It's been a real eye-opener.
The pleasure was all mine. I'm always fascinated by these complex issues and the potential that AI holds.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it insightful and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and let's all work together to create a future where AI benefits all of humanity.
That's it for today's episode. Until next time, stay curious and keep those brains buzzing.